Have you ever wondered how a small, niche beauty brand can dream of taking on the world? It's not just about having a fantastic product. It's about having an absolutely killer game plan. Today, we're going to tear down the actual business plan from a K-beauty brand called MustaeV. We're going to see exactly how they pitch their unique strategy for global domination. So, right out of the gate, MustaeV hits you with this incredibly bold question. And look, that's not just them being cocky. It's a power move. They're immediately planting a flag, hinting at their deep, deep connections right in the heart of the K-beauty world. It's their way of saying, we have a secret weapon, and that weapon is the network of pro makeup artists behind Korea's biggest stars. So, what is this secret weapon? They call it the Cheongdam Collaboration Engine, and that's not just some marketing buzzword. It is the absolute core of their business, a system they've built to turn pro artist insights directly into products that people are dying to buy. Okay, so the fuel for this engine is what they call the Cheongdam Network. You have to understand, for 15 years, MustaeV has been building relationships and trust with over 500 elite makeup artists in Seoul's most exclusive beauty hub. This isn't just a place on a map, it's a living, breathing laboratory where K-beauty trends are born. And here's the genius of how they use that network. It's a 5-step process. First, they actually listen to what real customers are asking for. Then, they take those needs straight to their pro artists to brainstorm solutions. Step 3, they co-develop the product with the artists. And because the artists helped create it, they're excited about it and they start posting about it on their socials. This creates this incredible organic buzz before the product even officially launches with its big story. It's brilliant. This whole process is a total game changer in how they think. The old way was to create a product with a bunch of features and then try to find an audience for it, which just leads to scattered, ineffective marketing. MustaeV flips that script. They start by identifying a real consumer problem for a clear target audience, and then they build the perfect solution. The result? Super focused, super efficient marketing. Okay, so the model sounds great on paper, right? But does it actually work? Well, the proof, as they say, is in the pudding. Or, in this case, it's in the pencil, their star product, 12,497. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's how many reviews their main product, the Spot Eraser Concealer Pencil, has on just one shopping platform in Korea. For a small indie brand, that kind of engagement is absolutely massive. And this success was no accident. This pencil was born directly from artist feedback. The pros were complaining that Western concealer pencils just had the wrong color undertones for Asian skin. And they were too soft for the detailed work needed for K-beauty trends, like aegyeosal, that cute highlighted puffy look under the eyes. So MustaeV listened and created a pencil with the perfect color match, the perfect hardness, and all at a price that real people could afford. So a hit product is one thing, but here's where it gets really interesting. MustaeV was thinking about going global from day one. When you look at their pitch, you realize that international expansion wasn't some far-off dream. It was baked into their DNA from the start. This timeline really tells the story. They founded the company in 2019, and by 2015, they were already exporting to the United States. And then getting US investment in 2019, that wasn't just about money. That was a huge stamp of approval, a validation of their entire global strategy. They were playing the long game. And here's some crazy proof of that long-term thinking. 45. That's the number of countries where MustaeV has already registered its trademark. We're talking the US, the EU, China, Japan, the whole shebang. Honestly, for an indie brand to have that kind of legal groundwork laid out is incredibly rare. It shows you just how serious they are. And it's not just about the legal paperwork, right? They back it up with the practical stuff too. 23 international cosmetic certifications. Now, this is the unglamorous, behind-the-scenes work, but it is absolutely crucial. It's what lets them enter new markets smoothly, without getting tangled up in red tape. They've done their homework. All right, so they've got the proven model, they've laid all the global groundwork, and now we get to the heart of the pitch. This is the big ask. This is what they plan to do with the grant money they're hoping to get. It's all about hitting the accelerator. And what they're asking for is honestly refreshingly specific and surprisingly small. 25 million Korean won, which is roughly 18,000 US dollars. And it's not for rent or salaries. Every single penny is for a targeted marketing campaign for a brand new product they're co-developing with their artist network. And they don't just say, hey, give us money for marketing. Nope. They break it all down. 10 million won for influencer campaigns and product seeding, 5 million for creating high-quality video content, and another 10 million for digital ads on platforms like Meta and Google. It is a crystal clear, transparent, and totally actionable plan. And their projections are just as clear and realistic. They plan to produce 9,000 units. They're setting aside the 1,000 of those right away for marketing, getting them into the hands of artists and influencers. That leaves a very clear 8,000 units that are ready to be sold. It's just a practical, grounded strategy. So what's the potential payoff for that small investment? 200 million Korean won. That's about 145,000 US dollars in revenue from just that first batch of 8,000 units. That is an incredible potential return on an $18,000 marketing spend. But here's the final piece of the puzzle. And in my opinion, it's what takes this pitch from being just good to being truly great. This isn't just about selling more makeup. MustaeV is pitching a much bigger vision, building a whole new kind of creative economy. They call this vision their co-prosperity model. And it's brilliant. They recognize that these freelance artists are bursting with incredible ideas, but often don't have the resources to bring them to life. So, MustaeV provides the platform, the manufacturing, the marketing, and then crucially, they share the profits. It's a true partnership. And you have to understand, this is not just some feel-good corporate fluff. This is a stone-cold, brilliant business strategy. It empowers the very creators who fuel their innovation pipeline. It gives artists a way to monetize their own expertise. And what does MustaeV get in return? An insanely loyal, authentic community and a sustainable ecosystem that keeps churning out new, market-tested ideas. So when you look at the whole MustaeV playbook, it leaves you with this really fascinating question. By building a business that's designed to share success with its creative partners, they're not just making products, they're building a community. They're building a self-sustaining innovation engine. And it really makes you wonder, is this the new blueprint for how niche brands can build authentic, lasting global impact?